What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another late night, another epic. This one is connected to the previous film that we watched together, Doctor Strangelove. It was heavily recommended in the comment section of that film. Failsafe, the original one, released in the same year as Doctor Strangelove. Failsafe, directed by Sidney Lumet, 1964. As I was informed, this was the more serious, dramatized version of the events that took place, and very excited to get into this picture. I think some of my replies to the some of the members that recommended this film was that there was a remake or an adaptation with George Clooney made in 2000, and just on a surface level, the ranking of that film, the review, the score it got, it's at 100% in Rotten Tomatoes. So do let me know if that is also a film worth watching. But for today, we're going to get into the 1964 version, and I'll try to keep in mind, the year this was released, the audience that might have been watching this film, and try to keep that in mind. So with that being said, Captain, we are a go. Wow, certainly an odd way to open a film, with a matador, the bull being stabbed, both of them sort of contrasting with a silhouette entering into black. Very odd way to start, but quite bold.
What are you up to today?
Shopping. I get clothes for the boys. It goes so fast.
Need any money? I cashed a check.
I'm not so sure why. I'm getting the feeling that he probably is Kong. He's a pilot. I think there was a picture on the dresser. Or I'm just getting the feeling that he's not coming back. One line of uniform. I might be wrong regarding him being a pilot, but just a suspicion I had. I did not see the picture on the dresser that clearly.
A culture with most of its people dead, the rest dying, the food poisoned, the air unfit to breathe? You call that a culture?
Yes, I do, Mr. Foster. I am not a poet. I am a political scientist who would rather have an American culture survive than a Russian one.
Wow. Wow. It's strange having them talk about casualties and collateral damage in such a sort of high-leveled, luxurious lifestyle or sort of setting that they're in right now.
We were fascinated. I just hope we didn't keep you from your work.
Not at all. I've got a 10 o'clock meeting at the Pentagon. Plenty of time to get home and change.
You must come again, Professor Grottersteller, with your wife this time.
I'd be delighted.
Okay, I guess we're going through each particular person that's important and their destination to the Pentagon or the war room.
What a thrill that would be. Knowing you have to die, to have the power to take everyone else with you. The mob of them with their plans, their little hopes, born to be murdered, turning away from it, closing their eyes to it. You could be the one to make it true.
This is just bizarre. Bizarre beyond means. Sort of the higher ups or the people that advise, consultants behind the scenes that are giving the orders.
I just take a drop now and then. The boy here, he gets a little excited.
I'm ready, sir.
Damn snot-nosed.
I'm not so sure if I really understood that interaction. Was that his parents, the Colonel's parents?
More whiskey. That was no ruffle. Lost half our group. Regensburg was the worst one for us. Never flew the B-17.
These are the Air Force pilots. I can probably tell by their logo and their uniform.
You still have to fly the Vindicator, Grady.
Last of the lot, Flynn. Don't kid yourself about that. The next airplanes, they won't need men.
You'll be too old anyway.
After us, it's the machines. We're halfway there already.
Ironic that they're talking about self-operated aircrafts, because we know the end of Dr. Strangelove, and that's already sort of based on reality.
You know something, Billy? I like the personal factor.
I like the personal factor. Everything they just mentioned as they were playing billiard will factor into the sort of conundrum and the high stakes when they're given an order.
This is the western coast of the United States, Hawaiian Islands, and those are Russian subs.
Not close.
Nearest is about 50 miles off San Francisco, I'd say. International waters, nothing we can do except keep an eye on it.
Well, that's too damn close. What's it doing there?
Scanning us the way we do them.
Is it armed?
Of course, at every point they have to keep an eye on each other, so that any sort of any form of antagonism, and you react first. Who has the first reaction?
We're very proud of what we do here, sir.
You ought to be, Colonel.
Money's well spent, Mr. Ascob.
I don't doubt it for a minute. And you don't have to snow me, General.
Again, that's ironic that they say that the money's well spent. This is the nerve center where everything happens, and yet nothing is 100%. They can't avoid every mishap.
Oh, we have checks on everything, Mr. Ascob. Checks and counter-checks.
Yeah, but who checks the checker? Where's the end of the line, Joe? Who's got the responsibility?
The President.
He can't know everything that's going on. How can he? It's too complicated. If you want to know, that's what really bothers me. The only thing that everyone can agree on is that no one's responsible.
Either nobody's responsible or everyone is for having the system to begin with. It's either you have the system or you don't.
In short, Mr. Ascob, we can't go to war except on an express order.
How do they get that order? By radio?
Yes, and through a box we call the fail-safe box aboard each plane, which can only be activated at the express order of the President.
Oh, he has to tell them.
Not directly, no. His voice can be imitated, you know. He just gives the order, and the rest is done electronically. No one can interfere with the fail-safe box, Mr. Ascob. No one. All those new blips you see now fight it.
Wow. Appropriate that the name of the film is Fail-Safe.
6 minutes to fail-safe.
What have you got there, Blackie? Another UFO?
It's fascinating that everybody in every different region, you know, they're watching the same representation of these airplanes with these massive, you know, threats of weaponry, and it's in a 2D, you know, frame. Does not really portray the danger that it's capable of.
I still don't see how we could restrict the war.
We could come to a mutual agreement with the Russians to strike only at missile bases.
What if the missile bases were near the cities?
They would have an incentive to move them elsewhere.
Well, first you have to come to a mutual ground to begin with, to have a limited war between each other.
There's no such thing as a limited war anymore. Not with hydrogen bombs, there isn't. Once those bombs start to drop, you won't be able to limit a damn thing.
So he was a soldier. That was the picture on the dresser.
We're setting up a war machine that acts faster than the ability of men to control it. We're putting men into situations that are getting too tough for men to handle.
Then we must toughen the men.
Suppose they launch a first strike against us.
Then we retaliate. And we're all finished.
you prefer that only we were finished? We have to prepare.
That's the thing, is they always have to have a counter attack, and that counter attack is only matched by what Russia is trying to do to them.
Of course, we can only control our own actions. Our concept of limited war is based on an equal rationality on the part of the Russians. It also presupposes there will be no accidents on either side.
Correct. That's the assumption, an hypothesis.
What could be done? How could they prove it was really an accident? Would it make any difference if they could? Even if we believed them, should we still think in terms of limiting our response, or should we hit them back with everything we have?
That's a good question. How would you even prove if it was an accident, unless you 100% trust them to be accountable?
I'll have to ask you gentlemen to leave now.
Sorry.
That is an order, Mr. Raskov.
You've got the wrong customer, General. The way I see it, we could be at war in just about 2 minutes. You can't get me back to my family in that time, so I'm staying right here and see what happens.
There's no place for you here.
Those bombs go off, General. There's no place for me anywhere. If you want me out of here, you better call those MPs.
I think it's coming up again.
Wow. Wow. The escalation for different codes could happen again, as they said, in any matter of minutes.
How's the group holding formation, Sullivan?
Right in orbit, sir. Even number 6 is tucked in.
Oh, Flynn. Half man, half bird.
Well, thank you very much.
I do assume the fact that they are paired with new and younger personnel, there's could be a drawback to it. I'm not so sure, but if anybody can inform just about that situation, I would appreciate it.
There must be some mistake. Check Omaha.
Can't get through, Colonel. Interference.
What do you mean you can't get through? What kind of interference?
I don't know, sir. It's a kind I never heard before.
Well, try another band. Try all of them.
This is why 3 minutes felt like 3 years, is because they never know when they could get a command. I'm guessing. Oh, CAP 811 probably. They'll get yeah, okay, it matches. Yeah, it's very similar to Dr. Strangelove, how they were checking according to the codes what it meant.
Ready for approach and penetration order, sir.
So you say these alerts happen half a dozen times a month.
How about that? Not usually so dramatic.
I'm guessing the top secret that they had on their chest, both of them, equally, both co-pilots, they would not have known either one of their own until they both take it out and they match. I'm guessing.
And that is why some people advocate a return to manned bombers for a first-strike retaliation rather than missiles. They are slower and therefore give more time for evaluation and analysis. The rockets have the defects of their virtues. They are too quick. They allow too little time for thought. Now, I find this point of view old-fashioned by the very nature of modern warfare.
You could just see it coming out of the failsafe.
The bucket says you have a small scar on your left wrist. Can I see it, please?
Oh, yeah. Dog bit me when I was a kid.
Yes, sir.
That's an interesting verification process.
You know what's happened, Buck? No, sir. One of our Vindicator groups got a wrong signal. Took off to bomb Moscow. We've got to stop it. Easier said than done. But we've got a little time, not much, but a little, so relax.
Relax. As a translator and as the president, it's not necessarily any time to relax. No time.
The Russians may be jamming their reception with some new device we know nothing about.
Why would they do that? Is it customary?
No, sir, but it's possible.
In other words, it's possible the fail-safe mechanism might be giving them a go signal at the same time they can't reach you for positive confirmation.
It's possible. It's not probable, but...
Is it possible?
Yes, sir.
All right, now, if we do...
That's that small percentage of, you know, it's possible for something to go wrong.
The next step would be to order the fighters after the bombers to raise them visually and divert them from their course.
But if the bombers don't respond, then what?
The fighters would be ordered to shoot them down.
They would not like that. That would be bad for the press.
Who gives that order?
You do, sir.
Oh, difficult decision. What do you even tell to the family? That's one. Number two, the whole thing about voice imitation is actually pretty interesting, considering there has to be sort of a protocol out of the fail-safe point to return, you know, if the Russians can get on their frequency, they can imitate the president. Very interesting.
Suppose they do catch up.
Why do they have to attack? Can't they signal?
Our men have been trained to expect anything from the enemy, even sending up his own fighter planes disguised as ours.
They're good men. We've seen to that. If their orders are attacked, the only way you're going to stop them is to shoot them down.
We've got no alternative.
Yeah, basically, that's the only option. You can't signal, you can't give them any voice command. You have to shoot them down.
Yes, Mr. President.
The fighters are to overtake the Vindicators and, if necessary, shoot them down.
Sir, it will be necessary.
I know that, General. Order them in.
I can only imagine as a fellow, you know, Air Force member, having to shoot down one of your cohorts. That's tough. But it's an order.
This is Tango Able 1. I read you 5 by 5.
Group 6 has flown through the failsafe point and is on an attack course towards Moscow. It is a mistake. Repeat, it is a mistake. Go to afterburners and overtake and attack Group 6.
Roger. Go to afterburners and overtake and attack Group 6. You all hear that?
No, you can see them turning around and then heading for them, if they can catch up.
By the time we run out of gas, they'll only be 1,000 miles away. Man, that's organization. All right, cut the chatter. We're wasting time. On the mark, go to afterburners. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark.
It's a really a lose-lose situation because, again, they will lose fuel. They could end up in the ocean. And, well, who knows where they will end up in ocean. They could be in Russian territory. They could be in the middle of nowhere. That was the second utterance of beautiful. In different contexts, but second.
General Bogan sound to you? Sir? You sound worried, confident, scared? Well, not
hesitant. Hesitant to my opinion.
I want your people now to consider what we do if they can't shoot them down. I'm putting you on the intercom so everything you say can be heard here and in Omaha. General Bogan has Mr. Knapp of Amalgamated Electronics and Congressman Raskov with him. They have my permission to listen in, say anything they want.
That's a good thing to sort of, again, they have to have the realistic scenario. If they can't catch up, they can't shoot them down, what do they do?
And what's on the board? Northern Lights?
Maybe a group of Soviet planes up there for just that reason, to convince us that we've accidentally launched a bomber group against them.
For what purpose?
As an excuse to retaliate.
If they wanted to do that, they wouldn't need an excuse. They'd simply attack.
This way, they've made us commit a group of our fighter planes, our first line of defense.
They have to take both situations into account because it could very well be a Russian aircraft. But it's fascinating, the cross-editing between Omaha, Washington, D.C., and I think the third one was not New York. It was somewhere else. But fascinating to see all the that the dialogue spans through these three areas.
They do not reason the way you reason, General Black. They are not motivated by human emotions such as rage and pity. They are calculating machines. They will look at the balance sheet and they will see they cannot win.
Then you suggest doing what?
Nothing.
Nothing?
The Russians will surrender and the threat of communism will be over forever.
Well, that's if they don't have a doomsday weapon of their own. If they don't have a counterattack, that's assuming.
Don't you see, sir? This is our chance. We never would have made the first move deliberately, but Group 6 has made it for us by accident. And we must take advantage of it. History demands it. We must advise the president not to recall those planes.
They're flaming hot.
Talk about turning a system error into an opportunity. This political scientist is an opportunist. It does not even reach them.
There goes number 2.
I get from the burnout and using all their fuel, they probably could not even catch up with them. So now they have to rationalize everything else. Do they defeat Moscow? Do they what do they do? Is it the discretion of the pilots who have their own orders? No. Well, they almost have to create a reaction to the aftermath of what the pilots would do.
It's very important the Premier and I understand each other. I don't have to tell you how important. So I want to know not only what he's saying, but what you think he's feeling. Any inflection of his voice, any tone, any emotion that adds to his words. I want you to let me know.
Yes, sir, I'll do my best.
I know you will, Buck. It's all any of us can do.
Talk about pressure. His inflections, his tone, his everything. There could be something. There could be a key.
I hope it turns out to be a small matter, but it's the first time it's happened, and if it's misunderstood, it could be...
Does it have to do with the aircraft we had detected flying towards Russia?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Well, from Russia's perspective, to go to one of the lines, I think at the Pentagon, was how does Moscow know, how does Russia know that this was an accident?
How do I know you do not have hundreds of other planes coming in so low our radar cannot pick them up?
Because I hope to prove to you that it's an accident. That we take full responsibility, that we're doing everything we can to correct it.
I hope to prove to you that it's an accident. Okay. Okay. It's interesting not having to see the other side and just sticking on them.
How do I know the planes were not simply diving to a low altitude to escape our radar?
On our plotting board, the action could only be interpreted as planes out of control. You have the same equipment we do. What did it tell you?
It did not tell us what is in your mind, Mr. President.
I'm telling you that.
No, very good retort. Very good retort. How could they ever believe? They spy on each other.
Soviet airspace has still not been violated, Mr. President. But if it is, we will be forced to shoot down your bombers. And then we will come to full alert with all our missiles and planes.
I understand that.
Oh my.
I hope you're...
Oh my. This is the start of a war.
You know we must protect ourselves.
You also know that if you launch missiles, we must do the same. If that happens, there'll be very little left of the world.
I understand. Is there anything more you wish to say?
If I may make a suggestion.
In that case, how does the U.S. take responsibility? It's all counterattacks that become automatic.
No matter what you do, at least one of the planes will get through to the target.
What is the target?
Moscow.
I'll call you back when I see what our fighters do.
Terrifying conversation. Terrifying.
What does it?
They've crossed the border.
Well, Buck, we're into Soviet territory.
It just got very real, but you know, that now they're in their jurisdiction. There's the possibility that they can shoot the American planes down. If they don't, It's the end of Doctor Strange. These are Americans dying.
This isn't some damn football game, remember that!
That plane's in trouble.
Oh boy. Wow. Wow. They're actually fighting back because their orders is attack.
We cannot be responsible for your mechanical failures.
Is it possible? Could it have happened? You asked for proof, Mr. Chairman. This could be it.
I like that we had the shot of the mouth, the eye. Slowly, the the anxiety is building up.
Will he return on your command?
There's a chance.
I'll give that order.
General Bogan.
Yes, Mr. President.
Put me through to Group 6 fast.
Right away, sir.
So they were interfering with the radio, which, I mean, who knows, by the time the president gets to them, it's too late. Well, we know it's too late, but with this fictional depiction.
The mission you are flying has been triggered by a mechanical failure. It is a mistake. I order you and the other planes to return to your base at once.
But again, according to protocol, they don't know if that's an imitation.
But you're telling me I've been specifically ordered not to do.
Damn it, Grady, this is the president.
So you see the question they were asked in the White House about the translator's mark on his left hand with the dog. There should be information that the president only knows and the pilot only knows to verify whether this is specifically the president. Like, details only they know. It could not be that the protocol would not be followed because it's just by voice.
Fire. Before he cuts off one of those slow ones.
Colonel, knock that off or I'll have you taken out of this room.
What a bizarre situation where you're hoping your fellow American, serviceman is shot down. Mind you, it's for the greater good, to avoid war, to avoid casualties, and so on and so forth, but it's such a bizarre situation.
This time we can finish what we start. And if we act now, right now, our casualties will be minimal.
You know what you're saying.
What would that do to their relations? That would make the president an undeniable liar.
Blackie, I need your help. Get out to Andrews Field right away. Orders will be waiting for you there.
Yes, sir.
Blackie, are Catherine and the kids in New York?
Yes, sir.
I may be asking a great deal of you.
I'll do whatever you say.
Good luck, Blackie. General Bogan.
It almost what his question almost came with an order that wasn't an order. I could not grasp it, but there was something there.
To cooperate fully with Soviet officers in shooting down our invading planes. You are to give whatever information they request. Any hesitation, any withholding of information can have the most tragic
An
consequences.
act of treason.
By increasing the power output and sliding through radar frequencies as fast as possible, what happens is the firing mechanism reads the higher amperage as proximity to the target and detonates the warhead.
Oh, wait, so if I'm understanding this correctly, what they're trying to do is they're trying to have the warhead actually implode inside the aircraft. I could be wrong.
I've opened this up. Thomas, send out the code for the ultimate flight plan. We're going down to the floor.
I wonder how these sequences with the actual jets, the aircrafts, how they were shot. It seems very it's not a model, it's not set against a screen. I'm assuming it's live.
You don't care what happens to us. You make a mistake, that's politics. Send out men to be killed, General. For what? Some lousy deal to sell us out. Save the world, save us. Save our country before they destroy it.
And I would say majority of this perspective, including the political science, is, you know, protect Americans first. And it is a soldier's perspective.
General Bogan, this is Marshal Nevsky.
Yes, Marshal.
Can you give us the longitude and latitude of the 3 planes left in the air?
We can do that, but we can give you their altitude. The signals we're getting now.
Oh, he's going to unplug the phone. He's going to unplug it.
The negotiations which General Bogan has been conducting with the enemy are the acts of a lunatic. By the direct authority of the President, I now command you to take all orders from...
Colonel, we got orders, Colonel. You make a
wow.
fuss, they'll kill you.
He actually tried it.
I'm better than you are! You're betraying us all!
Does he really have the wrong intentions? Well, it could be seen as a form of patriotism, nationalism.
I'm told that what we will hear at this end will be a high, shrill sound. That will be the ambassador's phone melting from the heat of the fireball. When we hear that sound, the ambassador will be dead. You understand, Mr. Ambassador, you're to stay exactly where you are.
Yes, Mr. President. He's got to attack.
How do you...
Is this...
Wow. Wow. And as we know, with Doctor Strange, one does actually get through.
When we hear the shriek of Mr. Lentoff's phone melding, we will know that he is gone, and with him New York.
Only Mother of God.
What?
He can't do it.
Wait, what?
What else can he do?
So he's gonna... So he's taking responsibility for Moscow, but at the same time he's ordering self-sabotage.
I ask you to believe. I wish it were not so.
Yes. Well, we can still hope I won't have to take that action.
Whoa. Wow. The amount of tension just from a phone call. A one-sided phone call. Wow.
It appears... Well, I don't know. General Konia is now in command.
Bogan, what's happened?
So what do? You blame the competency and the intellect of your American Air Force.
General, are you in Moscow now?
No. I was ordered to leave.
Is your...
Too painful of a question to even ask.
It's a hard day.
And the beauty is that there's almost some sort of camaraderie. The fact that they both were, and he calls him his friend, that they both were stationed in London, and they don't want to see each other pass away, or in this case, here.
Element 1, this is Turkey 1. Element 1, this is Turkey 1. Can you hear me?
Grady, this is General Bogan. Keep receiving, no matter what you hear. Do you understand? Keep receiving.
Jack, this is Helen. Jack, it's Helen. Do you recognize my voice?
Okay, that can't be imitated. There we go.
Jack, do you... Answer me, please!
You can't trust it, sir. We gotta get out of here.
No!
They tried everything. And they even brought his wife. Gosh, wow. Orders are orders, protocols are protocols.
Bombs are set to go at 5,000. We'll go with them.
mentally, this must really mess up this pilot. You know, everybody's telling you to stop what you're doing, and you have orders not to. And he's heading for ultimate demise. His conscience.
A lot of lives could be saved if people had a few minutes.
On this short notice, an alert to a big city would do more harm than good. All you'd produce is panic.
What about this?
Oh, boy. Yeah, that makes it all the more personal for the president.
Our immediate problem would be the joint one of fire control and excavation. Excavation, none of the dead, the effort would be wasted there. But even though there are no irreplaceable government documents in the city, many of our largest corporations keep their records there. It will be necessary to rescue as many of those records as we can.
Either way, this seems like a lose-lose situation for... yeah, lose-lose situation. Nothing seems plausible or doable. Everybody at this point they don't want to bomb New York.
Wonder what it's like out. Looked like rain before.
Radio said it would clear by the afternoon.
They're grabbing at whatever conversation or small talk they could have.
No human being did wrong. No one is to be blamed.
We're to blame, both of us. We let our machines get out of hand.
Well, yes, also on their part for the radio wave, blocking the radio waves.
Today we had a taste of the future. Do we learn from it or do we go on the way we have? What do we do, Mr. Chairman? What do we say to the dead?
While he was looking at the camera.
Yes, Jay?
I can hear the sound of explosions from the northeast. The sky is very bright. All lit up.
That's it. That's it. Chairman is dead. Ah, wow.
Moscow's been destroyed. Drop your bombs according to plan.
Okay, so he is a pilot as well.
Approaching target. Countdown from 10. Give me the signal. 10, 9.
Oh, what effective editing.
The Matador. The Matador. The Matador.
Matador. Yeah, that's the beginning. That's the beginning of the film. I'm struggling to correlate the connection, besides it being in the beginning of the film. Wow. 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 Was that the sound of people cheering? Cannot happen. Right. That it cannot happen. Whoa. By far. One of the most terrifying films to watch. What more if you are a New Yorker at that time watching this, to know that your life was saved by a pilot, Blackie, who could very easily have followed the orders and set off a whole list of dominoes following, ripple effect. But wow, the choices, and I'm very impressed with the amount of tension that was able to build up outside of the story, through the editing, through the acting, blocking. It seemed very, very grounded. Yeah, but I mean, he directed 12 Angry Men, and with Henry Fonda, and there's exceptional performances, but by far, just watching it behind the scenes, it's terrifying, and I can, to some of your comments, to watch this at the time, so close to it, where you were just 2 years removed from another incident. Wow, it's lost for words. I'm lost for words is what that is. But looking forward to everybody's education. If I got anything wrong, do write it. Until the next picture, take care, guys.
What's up, you cinephiles? Thank you very much for making it to the very end. Me and Big Willie don't take that for granted. We really appreciate you. Now, if you'd like to show your support to us, you know what you can do up here. You can smash that button, really just smash it. And if you would like to check out some more content, they're all curated by days up over here and playlists. So, you know what? We hope you're having a great day. Don't crumble and just continue to smile and be a good bastion of cinema.